Crest, and what we had last week was basic. We spoke about the inflation data from the US. What we did have was a little bit worse than expect the forecast. So overall, it's kind of neutral to bearish, but I'm more neutral to bullish on it because it's better than the previous. But the market did not buy that much, so we had more negative information like the PPI and all that. We had the labor data from the UK, which was bad, extremely bad was it. And then we're looking up to this week. So what we're looking at is we have the BOJ, which the market is expecting them to hold, so it's going to be bearish in a sense. The retail sales okay, but then we have inflation data from the UK, which we're expecting it to go lower than expected, than previous at 3.3, which is still high, but we're more focused on the service inflation. And then we have FOMC on Wednesday, and the market is expecting a hold. Of course, a hold is solid, so to be a bullish one, Powell is going to say the labor market is still solid and inflation data is still solid, so they will not be rushing to cut rates anytime soon. So that will be bullish. But if they say anything other than that, I think the market will perceive it negative, and we'll still be expecting the dollar to sink. For now, we are bearish on the dollar, and then to FOMC we're bullish, but we're expecting movement. We'll get to the technicals very soon. Aussie expecting the information to still be okay, but then the Swiss, we're expecting an interest rate cut to 0, and then for UK we have the MPC rates still holding bullish for them. Yoeda's speech and all that. Going to the chart, technically, we do have the Dixie. We are bearish, right? Bearish on it, but then we're looking at price coming into a demand in a sense. So if we look at this from this angle, we might have a push to the downside, push to the upside down, and then we have this. So that's what we're looking out for the Dixie, but not too much. I'm more neutral on the Dixie till FOMC. And looking at this technicalities, who I'm looking at, was the card quite interesting. So I'm looking at a pullback to keep on shorting at least to this. So we have a high R there. We have the Cardian, which we're looking to continue to the upside, as we spoke about last week, to be bullish. Was bullish on it, so it came and did what it had to do. So for now we'll still be bullish. I'm still bullish on this, be taking it to the upside. For the Cardian, we have the Euro EA, so I'm expecting a push probably in here, then we will short not that deep, maybe just here, and then we'll continue looking for longs. We have the EJ. It's fantastic, but not the best. EN is well, should we see a push, then we can continue pushing it to the upside. Sorry, for EU, of course we're still bullish on this, but we've broken previous high, and then we have this high, so potentially you might see a little push here and continue to the upside. Then Wednesday we might have a switch to the downside, and then the GA. I'd like to see this push and continue. Why? Because this was a BOS, somehow a BOS, so we are now in a bullish leg on this. This is a bullish leg, so I'm expecting it to continue. The GC, I expected it to continue to the upside, but if it does this, then breaks structure, of course we'll look to continue to the upside. And then the GJ, fantastic setup for the week. It worked out nicely for short-term buys, but then it's pulled back to its demand, so direct opening, and then we will see it push to the upside straight up. GN, the same thing, just expecting it to push to the upside. I've been in this position on Tuesday or Wednesday, Wednesday, so it was a beautiful one, so I'm still holding. Okay, NZD card is equivalent to a Aussie card, but it's not beautiful. I've been holding this position for weeks now. That's nice. And then we have UJ. Okay, so this, looking at this as a higher high, as a higher low. So if this is a higher high, looking for a higher low, this is a high internal structure. So the internal structure to at least take out these points. That's what I'm looking out for the oil. We've been talking about oil longs for quite some time now, and then we're expecting it to continue higher. Why? Because if this was the lower low, this was the lower high. We have lower low, so we're expecting a push to grab liquidity before we can see a drop to 49, and that's what I'm looking out for oil long term. And silver is good, but then the yellow metal is quite the guy. So we have, I think last week candle closed with massive bearish engulfing of Marabuzo or whatever. So we're looking at for H4 demand. This is our H4 demand. I'm looking at the daily time frame. What I see is there is imbalance here. That's why I drew this red line at 3360 here. So what we're expecting is a gap up, then pull back. So there should be some gap because of Israel attack on Iran and all that. So let's see.